I met with young men and women that had bullets lodged in their chin, in their face. Just as about to come and take a seat here, I was told that one of our polling agents from Ward K1 in Trade Fair just passed away. I saw people with lacerations, cut all over their body, young men with fractured legs that we had to pay over 800,000 for their surgery. And I want to take this moment to reach out to all of these people that in spite of all the attempts to put fear in them, they stood against it and came out in hope and courage. That I am with you. We are with you. Myself, my deputy governor, the party, we are together, we are with you, we are by your side. And it is not just lip service. Today we launched the platform called grvcares2023.com. Please, anyone that has been a victim of electoral violence, log onto this website, upload evidence of this violence, upload your hospital bills, upload a police report if you have it, and we will offset your hospital bills. Because empathy and love is not just lip service, it's in the action. Love is action. And for people that came out in hope and courage, we are going to show that we stand by you, we value you, and we appreciate you. Yesterday, Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu called for healing. But healing cannot happen without justice. The APC unleashed evil on Lagosians, spiritually with their fetish diabolic rites that were done during the day, and physically with violence that was unleashed on all Lagosians. There's an attempt to make this seem as though it was a Yoruba versus Igbo situation, and it was limited to certain areas, but it was widespread across the whole of Lagos, from Koshofe to Shomolu to Ikeja. Everybody was affected. Everybody was disenfranchised. Yet they want peace. But it's not really peace that they want. They want the peace of a graveyard. They want healing without addressing the issues of bringing justice. So they want the healing of the dead. The thrust of my message is not to the evil cult organization of the APC, but it is to the indigenous Lagosians and Lagosians at large. We cannot afford to have an agberocracy, a militant type of government in Lagos State. We all believe that we had gone past this type of politics. We all believe that democracy had been deepened. But we saw not just violence and diabolic means of trying to restrain and belittle the people of Lagos to create a one-party state, all the way from Ikoyi to Ikeja to Ikorodu, were all disenfranchised. They could not campaign based on their past record, so they stoked ethnic strife. For the ambition of one man and his cult, the entire credibility that INEC had built over the last 4 years was ripped into shreds in one day. For the ambition of one man and his cult, we saw our traditional institutions reduced to pawns, to tools, or rites that were supposed to be done at night and witnessed by only the people that have been initiated into the Oro institution was being done during the day, invoking in broad daylight the spell that Senator Tinubu and his cult have used to keep Lagos bound. There was no election in Lagos State. It was violence at multiple levels, physically and diabolically. On this ambition, they sowed seeds that potentially can lead to things that we have seen in other countries like the Rwandan genocide. Seeds of discord, seeds that othered our neighbors and people that we have known and have balance and harmony in this state. My dear Lagosians, our enemy is not, they are not our neighbors. or our visitors, or fellow Lagosians, regardless of their diverse tongues. Our common enemy is violence, insecurity, poverty, stagnation, corruption, and underdevelopment. And the same people responsible for all the things I've listed weaponize poverty and ethnicity to distract us from their evil endeavors and diabolical activities. We will never have free and fair elections under a Tinubu presidency because we can see by their antecedents, you can predict what is to come. Instead, we'll have a military type one-party system that seeks to disenfranchise and suppress people as opposed to engaging the people, selling their mandate, accounting for the stewardship of whatever positions that they've had. We've seen it happen in presidential to a lesser extent, and we saw their entire vision for Lagos State on Saturday. They have tried to destroy years of delicately balanced ethnic relations, years of intermarriage and friendships, years of commerce, and years of building Lagos into the economic juggernaut that it is. I call on the silent majority, the decent and cultured Lagosians, to speak out. Silence in this regard is not golden. Silence in this regard is acceptance and support. And we cannot be silent. It is enough of the worst of us defining the rest of us. On Saturday, we saw the APC's vision for Lagos, an agberocracy, a government by the agberos, for the agberos, and for the thugs and people that choose to suppress the good people of Lagos. We were all victims. This was not a tribal thing. We were all victims, even as shielded as Ikoyi is, as shielded as VGC is. Everybody, Yoruba, Igbo, South, Northerners even, in Isheri, they tried to discriminate against the Northerners that were obedient, that wanted to vote Labour Party. So this is not Igbo versus Yoruba, that's just a cloud that they are trying to use to hide their diabolical agenda for Lagos State. And this agberocracy will affect us all, because the moment that we have thugs running affairs, we have thugs being enabled by the government, we have thugs carrying out state-backed terrorism, we have thugs that the police look the other side with their actions, we have thugs that carry out all sorts of violence against the people of Lagos. Anybody, you, I, will eventually be victims of this thing. It will not discriminate whether I speak Yoruba or Hausa or Igbo. It will not discriminate. Lawlessness will affect us all. And a society like Lagos was built on laws. We have the finest lawyers, the finest judges, the judiciary was birthed in Lagos State by a city of laws. And lawlessness has become the order of the day under the APC government. And we have seen their vision for Lagos. And we are going to fight it through all legal means, because now more than ever, Lagos is in desperate need for us to birth our Lagos. A Lagos that is accountable, a Lagos that is open, a Lagos that is law-abiding, a Lagos that is holy, a Lagos that is pure, that believes in love and empathy, a Lagos where the people are allowed to express themselves regardless of who they want to vote for, a Lagos that will not be diabolically suppressed by evil people, a Lagos that will not be suppressed by violence, a Lagos that will not be suppressed by importing thugs from all over the southwest to come and enact violence against the same people that you want to govern. It is time to end that Lagos. It's time for our Lagos. We cannot afford to be silent. The good people, the cultured people, the decent people, indigenes of Lagos and Lagosians at large, we cannot be silent. We cannot leave this to the non-indigenes to stand up and fight. We cannot afford to associate ourselves with this level of thuggery, hooliganism that these people are trying to paint all of us as. We must talk. We must show disgust and disdain for this type of governance. We must stand up proud and say, no, this is not what we stand for. This is not the government, not in our name. And we are going to go through all legal processes to ensure that we retrieve this mandate, the mandate of so many people that were hurt, mutilated, killed. And we're going to see it all the way through. But this call is to you, people of Lagos. This is not the time for silence. We need you to speak up. We cannot afford for this discord to come in the south. These are two of the greatest ethnicities, greatest tribes in Nigeria and in Africa as a whole. In their coming together in a handshake across the Niger, Nigeria is unstoppable. And we will not allow one man, because of his selfish ambition, to destroy this work that Afenifere, the Pandef, the Middle Belt, all these forward that have tried so hard to bring us together. We will not allow the ambition of one man to destroy it. So I'm here to speak to you, to your hearts, to your minds. Please, this is not time for silence. Reach out to people. Reach out to our fellow Lagosians and Lagosians at large. And let us seek to stand against this oppression, because it is only in the presence of justice that healing can begin. God bless you, Lagos.